The geometric interpretation of product of two functions, f of x and g of x, is the area of a rectangle whose lengths are f of x and g of x. Since both f and g depend on the independent variable x, the dimension of the rectangle may change as x changes. To find the derivative of the product, we look at the change in the area denoted by delta A or delta area, and then we compute the limit as delta x goes to 0 of delta area over delta x, which is the limit definition of the derivative. To compute the change in area or delta area, we compare the original rectangle with a new rectangle obtained after increasing x by delta x. The new rectangle can be divided into 4 smaller rectangles. For simplicity, assume that both delta f and delta g are positive. If either one is negative, the same reasoning applies, except that the corresponding area is subtracted rather than added. The 4 rectangles have areas f times g, which is the area of the original rectangle, g times delta f times delta g, and delta f times delta g. Therefore, the change in area, which is the new area, minus the old area, is going to be just these 3 rectangles, which are delta f times g, f times delta g, and delta f times delta g. Substituting the change in the area into the difference quotient formula, we find the quotient delta area over delta x is equal to g times the quotient delta f over delta x plus f times the quotient delta g over delta x plus the quotient delta f over delta x times delta g. As delta x approaches 0, the last term over here approaches 0, giving this formula. The limit as delta x approaches 0 of the quotient delta area over delta x is equal to g of x times the limit delta f over delta x as delta x approaches 0 plus f of x times the limit as delta x approaches 0 of the quotient delta g over delta x plus the limit delta f over delta x as delta x approaches 0 times this limit delta g as delta g approaches 0. Note that the limit of the quotient delta f over delta x as delta x approaches 0, according to the hypothesis, is equal to f prime of x, and the limit of quotient delta x over delta g over delta x as delta x approaches 0 is equal to g prime of x. These limits are finite, and therefore, if one of them is multiplied by a limit that is going to 0, that term is going to disappear. And this gives us the product rule formula, f prime of x times g of x plus f of x times g prime of x.